We are going to start chapter number 5, that is fraction. This is our first lesson. So the objectives of today's lesson are: what is fraction, types of fraction, comparison of fraction, and how to arrange fraction in descending order. Okay, now first, what is fraction? A part of a whole is known as fraction. Let's take example. We have a circle, complete circle. That complete circle is known as a whole, and the part which we have divided is known as fraction. Now, fraction is written in the form of P over Q. P represents the numerator and Q represents denominator. What is numerator? Numerator. The number above the bar is known as numerator. You can see this example at the last 3 over 8. So the 3 is known as numerator because it is above the bar, and 8 is denominator. The number below the bar is known as denominator. So 8 is known as denominator because it is written below the bar. So, what is fraction? A part of a whole is known as fraction. You have a part in this picture. The complete circle is known as a part, and the complete circle is known as a part, and the division and the pieces of these cakes are known as fraction. So, how we will write? We will write 3 over 8. The shaded part of the pieces of cake we have to write in numerator, and the complete whole in the denominator. Okay. Now the next is types of fraction. We have many types of fraction, but these are the basic types of fraction. That is proper fraction, improper fraction, and mixed fraction. Number one is proper fraction. What is proper fraction? The numerator is less than the denominator. In proper fraction, the numerator is always less than the denominator. Let's take the example. In this example, we can easily see that 2 over 5. 2 is smaller than 5. So it is clear that proper fraction means the numerator is less than denominator. As I have told you in the previous slide, the number above the bar is known as numerator, and the number below the bar is known as denominator. So the shaded part we have is known as numerator. What is the shaded part? Here you can see 2. So we call it numerator, and the complete whole is known as denominator. Okay, next, the second part is improper fraction. The numerator is greater than or equals to denominator. In improper fraction, the numerator is always greater than denominator, and it is also equals to denominator. Let's see this example. Improper fraction, 5 over 4. So you can easily see in this picture that 5 is greater than 4. The numerator is greater than 4. So this is known as improper fraction. The third type of fraction is mixed fraction. A mixed fraction is made up of whole number and a fraction. In a mixed fraction, we have a proper fraction and a whole number. Okay, let's see this example. 1 represents as a whole number. This one is known as whole number, and this 3 over 4 is a fraction. So we can say that mixed fraction is a combination of whole number and proper fraction. Okay, these are the three types of fraction. Now we have more types of fraction. Equivalent fractions. Fraction which have the same value even though they may look different. Can you see this picture? We have equivalent fractions in this picture. Number one is 1 over 2 and the 4 over 8. They look different. They may look different, but these fractions are equivalent to each other. How? You can see this is 1 over 2. If we divide 4 over 8 with 4, let's suppose 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8. So 1 over 2 and 1 over 2. These are equivalent fractions. Okay, one more example. Fractions which have the same value even though they may look different means that they look different but the answer of these fractions are always same. So these type of fractions are called equivalent fraction. Example number 2 is on the screen. 1 over 2 equals to 2 over 4. They may look different, but these two fractions are equivalent to each other. How? 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. So the answer of both fractions are same. So this is known as equivalent fraction. Okay. Now we have furthermore like fraction. What is like fraction? The fraction with the same denominators are called like fraction. That types of fraction which have same denominator are called like fractions. Check this example. Example number 1, 3 over 8, 5 over 8. So the denominator of both fractions are same, 8 and 8. So that type of fraction which have same denominators are called like fractions. Example number 2, we have different types of fraction, 2 over 13, 5 over 13, 6 over 13, 8 over 13. All fractions are like fractions. Why? Because the denominator of all fractions are same. So these type of fractions which have same denominators are called like fraction. The next one is unlike fraction. So what is unlike fraction? Unlike fractions are fractions that have different denominator. It is opposite of like fraction. In like, we have same denominators, and in unlike, we have different denominators. Check this example. We have three different fractions, 1 over 5, 3 over 8, and 3 over 4. The denominator of all the fractions are different. So these type of fractions are called unlike fraction. Okay. Now the next is comparison of fractions, that how we can compare the fractions to each other. We have two cases in comparison of fraction, like fraction and unlike fraction. Case 1 is for like fractions. Greater the numerator, the value of fraction will be greater and the denominator remaining the same. When we have same denominator, simple, the answer of the numerator will be greater. Let's check this example. 5 over 7 is greater than 3 over 7. Is this statement is true? Yes, this statement is true. Why? Because if denominator is same, we will just simply check the numerator. 5 over 7, 3 over 7. So which one is greater fraction? 5 over 7 is the greater fraction. This is our case number 1 for like fractions. Now we have second case. Case number 2 is for unlike fraction. Greater the denominator, the smaller the value of fraction and the numerator remaining the same. This is also opposite of case number 1. what we say? This is the case for unlike fraction. If the denominator is smaller, then automatically the fraction is greater. In case number 2, if the denominator is smaller, then the value and that fraction will be greater. Let's check the example. This is the example of our case number 2, 3 over 5 and 3 over 7. You can easily see that denominator is greater than numerator. So, in unlike fraction, if the denominator is greater than the numerator, then automatically the value of fraction is greater. This is comparison of fraction. In comparison of fraction, we have discussed two cases, case number 1 and case number 2. Now, descending order. What is descending order? Descending orders mean arrange the numbers from largest to smallest. Example, 100, 45, 22, 18, 2. So the largest number is 100, then after 100, 45, then 22, then 18, and then 2. Now the steps how to arrange fraction in descending order. To arrange the fraction in descending order, first we have to find the LCM of denominators of the fraction to make the denominator same. Step number 2. Then, after taking the LCM, we compare the like fractions. Like fractions mean like fractions are those fractions that have same denominator. So here we have an example, 12 over 24, 18 over 24, 21 over 24, and 10 over 24. These all have same denominators, so these are called like fractions. Now we will compare numerator. When we are talking about descending order, so we will compare numerator for arranging in descending order. Okay. Now, comparing the fractions, 21 is the largest number. After 21, 18. After 18, 12. And after 12, 10. So we have arranged the fractions in descending order. So simply we can say that descending order means arrange the values or numbers from largest to smallest. When denominator is same, we simply compare the fractions. The fraction which is greater, we will write first, after that next and next. So 21, then 18, then 12, and then 10. Okay. Now, next, the descending order of fraction is 21, 18, 12, and 10. Okay. Now we are going to start our exercise 5.1. Exercise 5.1, question number 1. What is question number 1? Question number 1 is, in the following pair of fraction, which is greater? We have two different fractions and we have to compare these fractions, that which one fraction is greater. So here you can see on the screen we have two fractions, 4 over 7 and 5 over 7. So which one fraction is this? This fraction is like fractions. Why? Because the denominator of both fractions are same. 4 over 7, 5 over 7. This is case number 1 when we have same denominators. Okay. Simply, I have told you in the previous slide that when we have same denominator, what we have to do, just compare the numerator. Which numerator is greater? 5. So the answer of this question is 5 over 7. 5 over 7 is the greater fraction. This is our question number 1, part 2. Now, the next part of this question. Okay, question number 1. This is part number 10. These all questions are in your book, exercise 5.1. First, we have done question number 1, part 2, and now question number 1, part 10. Okay, can you see this screen? We have a question 5 over 6 and 7 over 9. So which case is this? This is case number 2, and the case number 2 is unlike fraction. Why it is unlike fraction? It is unlike fraction because the denominator of these fractions are not same. First fraction we have the denominator 6, and the second fraction we have denominator 9. I have already told you about the numerator and denominator, that what is numerator and what is denominator. The value above the bar. Above the bar means at the top. This 5 is known as numerator because it is written above the bar, and the 6 is known as denominator because it is written below the bar. So these are known as numerator and denominator. Again, I am repeating about like and unlike fraction because it is very important. If you don't know about the like and unlike fractions, you cannot do it. So what is like fraction? When we have same denominators, these are called like fraction, and when we have different denominators, these type of fractions are known as unlike fraction. Let's come this example. First, we have to take the LCM of 6 and 9. We have two denominators, 6 and 9. So first first we have to take first we have to take the LCM of 6 and 9. Here this is this is the example of 6 and 9. Okay, one more important thing is that we will take the prime factor of 6 and 9 by division method, and then find out the common prime factors of 6 and 9. So it is very simple that we start our prime factor method from 2, 3, then we will get the answer. So here we start our LCM by 2. 2 3s are 6, then 9 remains same, and then so on. So the LCM of 6 and 9 is 18. Okay. LCM is 18, but we know that the denominators are not same. To make the denominator same, we make equivalent fractions. How we make equivalent fractions? Our first fraction is 5 over 6. We will check the denominator. Denominator is not same, so we will take that type of number which make the denominator same. So as we know that the LCM is 18, so 6 multiplied by 3 is equals to 18. It is understood? Okay. Now one more thing is that when we multiply 3 as a denominator, so it is necessary that we have to multiply 3 as a numerator also. When we do as a denominator, so we will also do as a numerator. So 5 multiplied by 3 equals to 15, and 6 multiplied by 3 equals to 80. Now the next fraction, we have to make this fraction same, 7 over 9. So what is the LCM? LCM is 18. We have to make the denominator same. So 9 multiplied by 2. 9 multiplied by 2 means 18. Same, repeat this process. we will multiply 2 as a numerator. 7 multiplied by 2. 7 2 equals to 14 and 9 multiplied by 2 equals to 18. So now you can see that the denominator of both fractions are same. 15 over 18 and 14 over 18. So the denominator of both fractions are same. Now what we have to do, we have to compare the answer. The answer 15 over 18 equals to 5 over 6 and 14 over 18 is equals to 7 over 9. Denominator same, 18, 18. Now compare the numerator. Which numerator is greater, 15 or 14? 15 numerator is greater, so the answer is 5 over 6. These are the steps to compare the fraction and arrange in descending order. This is our question number 1. We have done 2 parts of question number 1. Okay, now the next part of this question is part number 12. We have two fractions, 5 over 6 and 25 over 30. We can easily see that this is also unlike fraction. Okay, what we have to do? First, we have to check their denominators. Both the denominators are different, 6 and 30. We have to make their denominators same. How? By cross multiplication. Cross multiplication means that 5 will be multiplied with 30 and 25 will be multiplied with 6. 5 multiplied by 30 equals to 150 and 25 multiplied by 6 equals to 150. You can see that the answer of both fractions are same, 150, 150. When this type of situation came, so this means that type of fractions are called equivalent fraction. When we have same answer, right hand side, left hand side is equals to each other, so that fraction is called equivalent fraction. You can solve this question by also previous method. Which method? The previous method was to make their denominators equivalent. Okay, we have done 3 parts from question number 1. Now question number 2. Question number 2 is, okay, question number 2 is arranged in descending order, part number 2. Okay, the question is 2 over 3, 1 over 4 and 4 over 7. All the denominators are different, so this is unlike term. First, we will take the LCM of all denominators, 3, 4, 5. Take LCM by prime factor methods, by prime factor values like 2, 3, 5, 7. These all are prime factor values. So, the LCM of 3, 4 and 7 is 84. Multiply the numerator and denominator of 2 by 3 by 28. We will take first fraction, that is 2 over 3. 2 over 3. So the denominator is 3. We will multiply the denominator with 21. When we multiply 3 by 28, it will become 84. The next fraction is 1 over 4. 4 multiplied by 21 equals to 84. Same as numerator, 1 multiplied by 21 is equals to 21 over 84. Third fraction is 4 over 7. Simply, we will multiply 7 with 12 and numerator with also 12. So it's equals to 48 over 84. Now you can see The denominator of all the fractions are same, 84, 84 and 84. Now what we have to do? We have to arrange in descending order. 56 over 84, 48 over 84 and 21 over 84. So how we will arrange it? The greater is 2 over 3, then after that 4 over 7 and 1 over 4. Now we have completed our lecture here. This is the time to ask the query. If you feel any type of questions related to the topic, you can ask. Oh, you can ask any question. Okay. First, I would like to share the home task which you have done in your fair copy. Take the screenshot if you are using mobile, and if you are using computer, you can also take the screenshot. Shot. So, what is your home task? Exercise 5.1. Question number 1, you have to do two parts in your fair copy. That is 6, question number 6 and question number 11. From question number 1, part 6 and 11, you have to done in your fair copy. And question number 2, part 5, 7, 9 and 10, you have to do in your fair copy. So this is your home task. Allah Hafiz.